Yo, what is up everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence and welcome to the Nintendo discussion video. And today I'm going to be talking about something that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is the Super Nintendo turning 25 years old in North America. It launched with one of the greatest games of all time, Super Mario World, and just had so many amazing and epic titles to its name. In my opinion, the Super Nintendo is the greatest console of all time, and I feel that the 16-bit era is the greatest era of all time for gaming. You had all sorts of new and unique innovative concepts coming in. RPGs took it to the next level on the Super Nintendo, and many of the RPGs back from the Super Nintendo are still not only playable today, but outshine today's RPGs as far as battle mechanics go. So it's one of the things to me, the Super Nintendo just personified lots of things. But for me, the real reason why the Super Nintendo stood out was because of the variety of games. When you talk about variety, you look at today's gaming market and you're like, man, there's not necessarily as much variety as I would have liked. Now there is variety, don't get me wrong, but the Super Nintendo was king of variety outside of first-person shooters, because necessarily first-person shooters weren't there, but they did have simulation-style first-person shooters like Doom and like Wolfenstein on the system. So you even got stuff like that. Before first-person shooters even became a thing, really, you saw that on Super Nintendo. You saw platformers take it to the next level on Super Nintendo. Stuff like Donkey Kong Country, just innovative technology being brought to the forefront. You saw developers push the system beyond its own limits with custom chips built into the carts, so you can play stuff like Mega Man X on there. There was just so many amazing things that the Super Nintendo did from a technological standpoint and from a gameplay standpoint. In my opinion, the Super Nintendo really just did everything right. It had the right amount of RPGs, which was a ton. It had platformers, it had action, it had adventure, it had so many groundbreaking titles. Stuff like Super Metroid, the atmospheric environment that you saw in the original Metroid, but just times like 50. It was so amazing to experience these games when they first came out because there was nothing like it. There was stuff that you saw and that you played on the NES, maybe you saw on PC, but the Super Nintendo brought everything together with vibrant, colorful graphics, great frame rates, no flashing pixels and weird things going on like the NES. It just wrapped up everything so nicely, and Nintendo arguably was at their best in the Super Nintendo era, with stuff like The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Yoshi's Island. So many great games on the Super Nintendo. Even having remasters before remasters was the thing with Mario All-Stars. I remember playing that game so much and be like, oh, look at the cool new graphics in that game. Nintendo did remasters before that was even something to do. So for me, it just brings back so many great memories. And my all-time favorite game on the Super Nintendo is Chrono Trigger. And I think Chrono Trigger, if you were to pick one game that really said, what is the Super Nintendo? Yes, you can pick Super Metroid. Yes, you can pick Super Mario World. Yes, you can pick all sorts of other games. But to me, Chrono Trigger really said, this is what Super Nintendo was all about. Expansive world, great graphics, fantastic story, really crazy Mode 7 graphics that made you go in first person and 3D-ish. Chrono Trigger was just amazing. So many good things about the Super Nintendo. Let me know what you guys think about the Super Nintendo. What are your favorite memories, childhood memories, or even recent memories of playing this system? And do you want Nintendo to return to the Super Nintendo era? Of course you guys want Nintendo to return to the Super Nintendo. Powerful graphics, great variety, RPGs out the yin-yang, great awesome controller. Also make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips and tricks, everything in gaming. Also make sure you check out the description below. There you'll have links over to our Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch page. Go and give us a like and a follow on all of our social networks, as I'll be having exclusive contests and giveaways just on there. And it's really important that you guys actually follow my Twitch page, because YouTube has disabled my live streaming because of a BS copyright claim from Sony that I'm currently fighting. So I will not be able to live stream for the foreseeable future until I get this thing resolved. So please follow my Twitch page so you know when I'm going to be live streaming. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you for the next video. Peace.